Anyway, I better stop ranting about all of that, and maybe we can jump into the news. You ready for it? You ready for it, chat? Y'all ready for this? It's time for the news. News time. Welcome in for the news of the 15th of April. I was going to say February, April 2022. Oh, hey, what's up with this? Why is the news not up? Hang on. So let's begin, shall we? Oh, it's I don't know why. It was because I was looking for this. So, game news. Not a lot. It's another week of essentially an unfortunate case of there's a lot kind of not happening because we are still in between stuff. But I would say there was 2 or 3 major events that kind of happened during this week that are probably worth jumping into. But we'll cover a decent chunk of stuff here. I've been thinking about perhaps we look into changing the format of the news, either to be the more interactive or maybe more focused on news stories, because I cover a lot. I prune a shit ton. I probably only take maybe 10 to 20% of the news articles I go across. So there is a lot that happens, but a lot doesn't get chosen. But even then, maybe we need to cut a bit down more, just so we keep it a little more concise and we can focus on the news articles we want to talk to together. Body movies are fun. Move your chair and spray scent aerosols. It's really funny, because it feels like they're kind of a dying breed now. They're only gonna, like, I feel like the only places you see those sorts of like movie theaters are now like at like, say, places like Universal and things like that, like actual theme parks and things like that. Hey Lizard, welcome on in. How was stream? What were you doing? How was stream? We're literally just about to start the news. You're coming in a good time. What up, Lizard? Oh no, don't kill that man. Lizard, don't kill that man.
Jeez, boys. And that's game. That's game. GG's. Let's go. Clutch. Clip that, someone. That'd be
you know when someone's feeling themselves is when they get the clip that. Clip that.
I knew we got him.
Isn't gaming but
I knew we got him. I knew.
Isn't gaming but Gilbert passing away a big old shame? Oh yeah. Oh, well, I mean, I wanted to talk about that. I don't know if I really said much on Twitter or anything like that. I was very bummed by that. I saw that way late at night after I'd finished work, and it was like, that kind of sucked. Hey Nail, welcome on in, man. There's news. Yeah, we're just about to start the news. But yeah, that was very sad. Gilbert passing away just really sucked. He was a way younger than I thought he was. I thought he was a little bit older, so that's kind of a bummer when you see someone dying not reaching, like, I feel like not reaching the age of 80 is just, you've lived a short life in a sense. But yeah, he was a very impactful comedian. Like, it was one of those things where it's so sad when you have those events, because Gilbert was one of those ones where it's like, I don't think people really fully realized how like loved he was. And then I just like, when someone passed away, you just get clips, just lots of clips, and it's just like, genuinely he was laughing at like aloud from just lots of different stuff. He was very, very good. He was a very amazing comedian. It's really a bummer. We're kind of, it's that sad thing where it's like, me and my friends joke, we're all old enough now that we've had enough interaction with the world. We've come to beloved certain celebrities now, to the point where it's like, we're going to start seeing people pass away. And that's just the reality of getting older, unfortunately. But yeah, him reading 50 Shades, I feel like very much he's known for, I would say, a few things. If you've never listened to his The Aristocrats joke, I would say possibly only if you like Gilbert, he's only a little bit older. Like he's not older. He's for mature audiences only, is how I would phrase it. As much as he did a lot of kids work, I would say he's for adults. But yeah, I just noticed the Triforce emblem. Yeah, the desk used to have a lot more stuff on it. I sort of cleaned it down just so it was a little bit more like we can look at the news articles. But maybe one day we'll start slapping more stuff on. Anyway, we're still distracted. We better get into the news. All right, let's do it. PSN bug causing game licenses to expire on the PS3 and Vita. This was pretty bad. This was actually a sizable report people were having as well, is where essentially people who were booting up their Vitas and their PS3s, now that the stores and stuff have all closed, were finding that a whole heap of their licenses were like not working for various games. I don't know if this is fixed yet. I don't know if there's an update, but yeah, this is not great. This is pretty bad for people that essentially... Oh.
Tante Rotana just subscribed.
Dylan, aw, you didn't have to gift to Tante, thank you. Tante's free from ads. That's the funny thing about the people getting gifted, is that's gifting someone a freedom from the ads. I appreciate it, Dylan, thank you. But yeah, this kind of sucks. Again, this is my issue with the online service situation, where this might be the inevitability for the future of a whole heap of different platforms and stuff like that, especially if they don't handle it correctly. But I genuinely am I like both those platforms a lot, and it's just sad to see this, I guess. Mousling! Hey Mousling, how have you been? Haven't seen you in ages. Feel like it's been a while. But yes, so if you've got either of those platforms, just be aware, perhaps don't go and update stuff just yet. Now, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. We were talking a little bit about this before with movies, but yes, Sonic 2 is the biggest opening weekend ever for a game adaptation in the US, and people are saying it's a pretty good game adaptation. I'm not sure if people are saying yet that this is the best game adaptation movie. For those who have seen it, you'll have to let me know, but do you think this is the best? Sorry, I keep missing streams. My cousins are going to see that like right now. It's very popular. This movie is very, very, very popular. And that's okay, Mousling, I understand. People have little lives they've got to live. But yes, this movie is very, very popular. And I think it's even now with the original one in terms of just percentages, but that gives a sign that there will very likely be a Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie, as long as this reviews decently well by fans. So, and it sounds like it is. From what I've spoken to people, this is a better movie than the first movie. So if that's the case, then we're very likely to see a third one, which, fingers crossed, means we either get Shadow, or maybe Big the Cat, or Chaos, or Chow's, Tikal. I mean, I'm listing off a lot of Sonic Adventure 1. Rouge the Bat, the President. Sonic meeting the President would make me laugh. I kind of want that to happen, because it's very dumb in the games. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this eventually. Now, there's a lot of small nods to fans, and it feels like the directors or whatever cared. That's better than the first one. The first one felt like they didn't really fucking care. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it felt like the first one wasn't really a Sonic movie, but you know. Rouge? How would they do Rouge though? I feel like she'd have to wear the full modern bodysuit though. I feel like you can't have Booba out Rouge from Sonic Adventure 2 anymore. Everyone wants Big the Cat. Big the Cat is definitely the best character. I want Big the Cat. Froggy! I only want him so they can have a Sega Seabass fishing moment. That's all I want. Just up the age rating? I don't know. I think like then they'll start squeezing some other stuff in there and start awakening things in people, can't they? Big the Cat, heck yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Big. We'll play, I've talked about perhaps like, maybe I need to do like a weird, like once a week I try to complete a Sonic game as fast as I can once a week. I shouldn't do that. But Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2 are very fast to complete. I could do them very, very quickly. Sonic games are usually not that long. I did manage to Sonic Doodles a few days back. Rouge is awakened enough. I'd agree with that. All right, Bandai Namco. This one was an interesting one. So a lot of people talking about rumors in relation to this one, but nothing really is solid. But Bandai Namco actually does have job listings referring to a Nintendo project. Now, Bandai Namco and Nintendo have worked together on lots of things. I can't stress how many things these two have worked together. They've like you can see in this article, they talk about Smash Bros, Mario Kart, Pokken, Superstars, Go Vacation, Wii Sports, Pokemon Snap, Musos. Like, there's a lot. There's a lot. I would actually hazard a guess that it might be in relation to possibly maybe a Muso game. I've seen quite a few different things people have suggested, but literally this could be anything. But just a heads up, there is essentially a new Nintendo Bandai game coming. Like, it's not the most surprising thing in the world, but it's just one of those things you can keep an eye on. Are you including the Sonic 3D games such as Unleash in Colors? I've never played Unleash in Colors, Red Rover. I stopped at Sonic 06. Like, I was not going to play that game. I had a friend, housemate, that had it, and it looked hot trash, so I never played it. And then I never got around to Unleash because it was on platforms I didn't have at time, and I think it was at uni. And then I never got around to Colors because it just looked a little too kiddie to me. I didn't really want kiddie Sonic. I kind of like the soft edge, well, not edge, I would say Sonic thinks he's cool Sonic. Like this Sonic Riders, Sonic Adventure, Sonic, all those sorts of ones. I like those ones. I really want to play Unleashed again, but it isn't on PC. I think if it got ported somewhere that was like a decent port, I probably would play Unleashed one day. And sort of suffer the weird, what was he called? A werehog mode. I think if I can suffer the werehog mode, it sounds like that Unleashed is actually a pretty fun, decent game. So, but it does look like it leans into the aspects of Sonic that I don't really care about for the modern ones. I really like Colors for the gameplay, but yeah, his personality is very cheesy and meta and not into. Yeah, I don't like that either. And that's the big problem I have with Sonic in that movie as well, because I feel like that he's very just jokes. Sonic isn't just a walking joke bag. Like, that's not what he is. He's kind of more of a one-liner kind of guy, I feel like. That was how I feel like he should be. The Witcher Wild Hunt Complete Edition for PS5, Xbox Series delayed to unannounced date. So this is something people will probably be bummed about. I never got around to playing Witcher 3 properly. I didn't really like 2. I started playing a little bit of 3 and I wasn't feeling it. But I was always one day maybe thinking about it. But this is kind of sad because this is the game that's like people were really wanting a next-gen version of. But we know with CD Projekt Red, there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes with them. They're changing platforms, all that stuff. I would imagine that they're probably not changing platforms over to Unreal rather than their in-house, because that would be a lot of work to transition that from that to that. So who knows what's happening with this project? If they've axed their previous engine because of everything that has happened with Cyberpunk, it might be a never coming out situation with this game. So we'll see. This may never ever actually come out now. This might be the announcement that it is being cancelled, but they haven't fully committed to the announcement. So we'll see. But excited to see what they do with Unreal, because their team is talented. It just sucks that their engine really just couldn't keep up with what they were trying to push it for. So yeah. More Sonic news. Oh my god, how are we talking about Sonic so much? First, Sonic the Hedgehog Roblox game is a Sonic speed simulator. I just saw this. This was just weird, dumb news that I came across. So this is an officially partnered Sonic the Hedgehog simulator in Roblox. I don't know why this exists. I don't play Roblox. I will never play Roblox. I cannot see a reason for me to ever play Roblox. But yeah, it's literally just another one of those forward runners. I feel like this is the problem with Sonic. where it falls into this category of like it turns into this, where it's just you make Sonic run forward. That is Sonic, but it seems like it's just a loop from looking at a glance of this. So it's pretty much just you run forward, get rings, and the rings just trail behind you? Question mark. And it seems like other Sonics run around, so that could be a little cool. Is just seeing like an almost MMO-esque like aspect to Sonic, which is we've never had before. But oh my god, whenever I see Chows, I'm just like, put Chows back in the game, damn it! Just put Chows back into Sonic, please. Your reason to play Roblox is right there. Tate, please, no. A bad game is bad forever, but your mum is looking fine. Miyamoto. Hey Thomas, welcome with it. Is Miyamoto into a Sonic? Do you reckon he likes Sonic? I don't know. Monster Hunter news. We have 2 Monster Hunter things, a couple of Monster Hunter things actually to talk about. So we have a lot of ramp up is starting to happen for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, which of course you know I'm excited for. But I only wanted to talk about these two because if you've played World, they should look very familiar. And if you look at the one on the left, he looks very familiar to a boy from 4, which we canonically now know is the same character. So I don't know what's up with this. They don't seem to be part of the guild. They're obviously of this new nation, but it's very weird. We've got a new knight called Jay and a new knight called Lushika, and they're very much, we're getting a red head and a black head character that look very familiar. It's very strange. I don't know why they've done this. Sonic is probably too fast for Miyamoto's old eyes. I would say so. He hates things moving fast. He likes things tight controlled, not loose. Yeah, this is very odd. Is it just something that you'll probably see a lot of Monster Hunter fans just be like, that's strange. We don't know if there's a reason behind this. There certainly was in World, but not sure, because I would like to point out that this is a different nation. They're not the same peoples that the previous ones were. So I think this is just a weird coincidental. They wanted to design these characters this way, but they look cool. I like them enough. I think the aesthetic of knights and stuff. You know me. I'm a medieval fantasy boy. I think that it works. Like, also, fucking look at the general's outfit. Look how amazing this is. I love that. But very cool. Very, very cool. I want the handsome blonde man back in some way. Maybe. I don't know if they would ever bring back. He must be pretty old now. I don't even know if he's dead, honestly. But it's Monster Hunter. We don't really get that much lore about the character universe anyway. Capcom has actually, like I said, ramping up. So they're actually showing more and more as things go on. We've had lots of little clips on Twitter and stuff like that. They've made that TikTok account. But they've actually shown off 2 videos. Tour of the Citadel, which is about a 2-minute video. And I kind of have been avoiding watching this video. Because I've been avoiding this video because of the fact that I'm not wanting to get spoiled on zones. I'm the type of person that's like, I enjoy seeing these zones and things for the first time. But it feels like we're probably going to end up being spoiled because it's just the one zone. So I'm imagining that we're going to see, as time goes on, a lot of this sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm actually going to quickly do something, chat. Just going to quickly do something because I realize that I've been wanting to do this for a while and I just keep forgetting. So we're going to quickly do this live on stream while this video plays because of how the TV work. How do we do this? How am I doing this? Hang on, I'll figure it out. Chat, hold on. Chat, hold up. I'm gonna squish. Grab the wrong thing. It's all in, we're in an all or nothing sort of space right now. There we go. That'll do. Oh no, it's up top. Hope you guys are enjoying the footage behind me because I can't see it. See. All right, that'll do. That'll do for now because it's been annoying me.
At nighttime, the Citadel glows with an alluring and perilous purple aura.
All right, there we go. Your menu music's on? Oh yeah. I'll close that. I'll turn that off for a moment. We haven't really gotten the music usually plays when we got trailers on, but this is a man talking. I don't really want to go into the man talking, but what I wanted to show you guys is actually this footage here. Grand Golem.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the world of Monster Hunter Rise.
So I won't go into the we won't go into the specifics of what he's saying there, but this monster looks amazing. I'm very excited for this one. I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about individual things as they came out, but again, it's Monster Hunter. I get very excited to talk about it. But this dude looks amazing. This looks really fun. I don't like the other monkeys. I don't think any of the other monkeys have ever been super fun to fight. This boy looks strong. He's huge. He has elemental attacks. I genuinely think this looks like a really fun hunt. So I'm looking forward to this. Turns into a dill. What? But yes, I think this looks very exciting. So I'm looking forward to this one. So we're probably going to see like footage like this ongoing now for various different like ones of the new announced monsters. Now, I try not to concentrate too much on what they can do because I like to learn the fights when I'm learning the fights, like I'm playing and fighting against them. But seeing these, you get to see sort of sometimes the little changes they've done, like little things, like you can notice things in the environment that you might not have in those trailers. You get to see like sort of if they've changed any of the combat stylings, if there's little bits and pieces, if there's weapons, if there's armors. Like, so there's going to be lots of little things that are going to pop up in these trailers that are going to be like interesting to Monhan fans. But it's very much for the people that are way in there already. So, but yeah, here's his key signature moves. So he puts his hands in the ground, he gets rocks on it, and then he'll ignite one hand and then freeze the other. But he has lots of recognizable attacks from like when you're fighting like Rajang and things like that. But he is very much a crush you with elements style monster, and curious how he'll end up using them, especially I would imagine this monster has an enraged form that we haven't seen yet. Most monsters do, and most monsters have a gorilla, the gorillas have like usually a big enraged form, so we'll see. And the piece de resistance of this particular set is on Twitter. The team showed off the new home. So not the hub, our home. So this is where we'll live. Twitter compression, we'll let this loop. But essentially we're getting a little cabin on a ship, which I don't know if that creaking is going to drive me insane, but you don't really spend a huge amount of time in your room. We're not getting essentially room customizations, it really looks like. We may be getting it in the form of these paintings. You might be able to use screenshots you take and put them into the game maybe. But as always, there is a shit ton of personality in this room, and I kind of love it. I like it a lot more than the room in the village in Rise. It kind of was a bit whatever.
Rage Rover just subscribed. Heck, I can't deal with ads anymore, plus I have money now.
Thank you, Red. I appreciate it. I'm sorry. That's kind of why the ads there, in a sense, it's just maybe a little nudge. It's hard to find the fine balance because Twitch has turned on a lot of that stuff and they changed it. So I don't know what the defaults were. I literally don't know what the defaults were, but whatever Twitch changed them to be for defaults annoyed people, and then I couldn't really figure out what they should be. So you guys are kind of suffering from me trying to figure it all out, but I appreciate it, Red. Thank you. All right, Sunbreaker. I'm excited for it. But that's all the general. We'll jump into upcoming events. There's only really one upcoming event right now that we can talk about, which is Gamescom Asia has actually set a date for this year. And it will be an in-person one, it sounds like, as well as a digital, because that's how they do them there. Thank you, Dylan, for the 100. Dylan, just so you know, you could use the TTS if you would like. And then at 100 bits, you can say something on stream if you wanted. But thank you. But yeah, so it's set for October, so that's quite some time away. As you guys probably know, that Gamescom is usually in Europe, and it is usually earlier in the year. Sort of bounces off. We usually go through E3, and then we usually go into E3, and then into Gamescom Europe, and in Germany. And now we're going to have Gamescom in October, so that will probably be paired with all of the shows that generally around that time frame. So not Summer of Games, not E3. It will probably be the Game Awards and possibly some other events that might be around that time frame. But it will not always. These are usually smaller things. As much as it is Gamescom, it will be a smaller event. It is held in Singapore, but curious how it's going to be approached. I didn't even know it ran last year. I think we saw some announcements from indie games and stuff, but I don't think it's that big of an event. But it's just good to know it's coming, essentially. Any announcements? Oh boy! All right, now we're here. We're now at the point of the big news. Boat. I like the boat with the Quasi. I hope Quasi's been well. I haven't seen him in ages. So the big announcement, chat, that happened this week. The reason why the news is worth talking about. Kingdom Hearts Missing Link has been announced for iOS and Android. Another Kingdom Hearts mobile game. The thing that all the Kingdom Hearts fans have been wanting. They love it. They want it. This game actually looks not great. I don't know if they've got the trailer here. Here we go. So this trailer is 7 minutes long, but yeah, for a mobile game, dang. But yes, it also, I will talk about this, but I might actually quickly jump into the other news associated to it. Which is this one, which is at the start of this. So there was pretty much a Kingdom Hearts anniversary direct that they did. And Kingdom Hearts Dark Road Final Chapter arrived in August. They're finishing Dark Road finally. If you don't know, if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan and if you endured how all the separation of all the story is, I feel for you. This seems fucking awful to have to have learned all the various things from gacha games, from weird, from DS titles, from just all these various things that are just canon. And it seems like they're finishing off this storyline, which will probably lead into the future. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts gacha. Yeah, I really cannot understand what Square just really has it out for Kingdom Hearts fans. It feels like, but. What I'll say is this chapter's coming to an end. I don't really care. Kingdom Hearts fans, I'm not even sure how much they care, but probably very important because it's leading into the end of the Keyblade Wars, from my understand. They're finally finishing Xehanart's story. It seems like it, so it probably will tease the future of like the events for Kingdom Hearts. But there we go. Union Cross finally finishing, which is fucking insane. But it leads into their new title, which people got very worried when they saw this and being like, why does Kingdom Hearts 4 look so bad? Because we're getting a 3D announcement. Kingdom Hearts 47.420.21 final microtransaction unless... I like the unless, Tante. That feels like it could be in it. I want them to have a terrible title like that. But This is replacing Dark Roads. We're getting Union Cross's ending to be given this game, essentially, which is why it looks not fantastic. It actually doesn't look too bad on mobile, in a sense. This, I don't know what the fuck they were doing with this, but this does not look great. It seems to have some AR component to it, it looks like. So I'm guessing it's generated based on the real world, and that's why the buildings look so bad. But the combat doesn't look terrible. It's an action. It's a proper action game. But these environments look not great. But we have essentially another bit of footage that he's got here, where these other environments that actually look decent. So I'm not going to completely shit on this game. I'm a little sad that we're getting just a mobile game in a sense. But also, did you see the little trophy that popped up? You saw the little cloud trophy? Final Fantasy's still in there somewhere in Kingdom Hearts. But essentially, we're getting a mobile game. I don't really know what this is about. I've completely lost track of what the fuck is happening in Kingdom Hearts now. But, yeah. Is this Kingdom Hearts Go? I kind of, maybe. I'm unsure. It's hard to say. But you'll notice this video still has 3 minutes left in it, and they already showed off 2 things. Because they weren't done yet. Kind of out of fucking nowhere. By the way, we weren't really aware of how much was going to happen in this announcement trailer. Something crazy happened. I actually like the story of Union. I never played it. I don't have no interest in it. Those trophies are the medals from Union Cross? Oh, okay. So it's a system people already know. Hey, Mavi. I have no idea whose voice that is, by the way. Doesn't sound like Xehanort or anything like that, so I have no idea who that's talking. Alright, I'll talk about this moment soon enough. There's a lot of things that people have already dissected about this trailer, but you can see this is obviously next gen. Welcome to next gen. High fucking res Sora. Super high res. Possibly in engine. Sora is in the real world. Or is he? Certainly looks like Japan, doesn't it? This isn't in-game, it's cinematic, pre-rendered. Wait for it, maybe. There's a cut. Watch when the cut happens. This is in-engine right now. I can tell that this is an engine because of how people's hair and stuff is. It's also, you can tell it's in-engine as well because it's kind of not got all its texture work finished yet. He looks so dope here. I've never played Kingdom Hearts. Go and play Kingdom Hearts, definitely 1 and 2, I think. Well, 1's a bit rough, but you have to play 1 to understand 2. And 3 people genuinely enjoy it as a game. That dark side looks nice. It's fucking crazy. This is a crazy event. This looks mad. This is new Kingdom Hearts, and it looks fucking insane. They've brought back some systems from 2 and stuff as well. Like, there's a lot going on in this trailer. I cannot believe they just suddenly revealed Kingdom Hearts 4 like this. I hope people didn't enjoy 3 as much. I have some issues with like some of the things I've heard, but I've yet to play it properly. I think I will enjoy it once I played it. I enjoyed 2 more. I like 2 more. I think that's probably would be the consensus for a lot of people, unfortunately. Square Enix fucking loves cars. There we go. The reveal for Kingdom Hearts 4. So, there's one more thing. God, I love them in Japanese. Donald just sounds like Donald, which is insane. So supposedly that's Hades' voice actor. So we might be getting Hades in this future. But anyway, okay, so this was crazy. They dropped Kingdom Hearts 4. Lots of stuff happened. If you haven't seen and you're not quite sure why Sora is in the real world, in one of the DLC endings, Sora ends up in another world. He ends up in the world of a fictional character that exists within the Toy Story universe that is essentially lives in our world, who's basically a Final Fantasy character. He ends up being a weird parallel to the character that was originally going to be Noctis. So Nomura's Noctis ends up getting actually created and gets to be in a very big city and gets to fight Sora. And I'm assuming Sora must still be here then. Like, I don't think this is our world. I'm 99% sure that this isn't Earth. It's the weird fabricated version of Earth, and perhaps Sora is making his way closer and closer to Earth. And the weird thing about that is, chat, is one, I don't know how Disney's going to like that. Two, because Disney's in our world. Two, the fact that Nomura has already pulled this stunt before. If you've ever played 13, Lightning comes to the real world in the end of 13.3. So who knows what he wants to do? And perhaps Lightning might appear. Maybe Lightning will appear in in Kingdom Hearts. But I don't know. This is kind of wacky. This is a crazy thing that happened. He was really horny for Lightning. I don't think it was Nomura. I actually might have got that wrong. It might be the other guy. I've just realized I've said that aloud, and it's like, I think it's the other guy, the director for Final Fantasy 13. But the game looks pretty dang good for like in development stuff. Or maybe it is Nomura? I'm not sure. It might be Kitase. I think it might have been Kitase's fault. I don't know. I forget. It's one of them. Lightning battle? For the record, I really don't like 13. But, you know. But yeah, this looks really good. There's one other thing I wanted to point out that people have talked about, and I'm fairly sure it's correct. Disney really does have its claws in deep in various places, but that means that Square gets to take advantage of it. And specifically is this location here. Strangely enough, they open with landscapes of a forest. And it doesn't look like any Disney IPs to most people know. Except this brief, oh, you guys can't see it. In the very top corner up here, which it's hard for me to show you guys, there is a foot, a metallic foot. This might be Star Wars, because it looks like Endor. We might have the planet of the Jawas as a place we get to go to. So we may be getting a Star Wars in Kingdom Hearts, which we might get a Keyblade that might look like a lightsaber. So that trailer had a lot in it. So we've got the announcement for Kingdom Hearts 4. We've possibly got a Star Wars. We've got some returning characters. We've got returning villains. We've got a completely new setting. We've got sort of setup from the previous game. There's a lot in this trailer. So if you, even for people who don't really know that much about Kingdom Hearts, there's people will probably recognize some of this stuff just from that alone. Like, they did a very good job with this trailer. I think someone also pointed out that here is possibly a reference to the Disney World's actual entrance to one of the rides. So we may end up having some Disney World references as well, because we did have those rides that were in the Kingdom Hearts 3. But yeah, I recognized Goofy. At least you recognized one thing, Tante. Hey, Indominus, welcome on in. And Pink Guy, welcome on as well. Fossil Fighter Champions. Is that going to be in Kingdom Hearts? Who knows? I don't think anyone liked 13. I don't have any opinion on it. I haven't played 13, but I heard the maps were designed in an arrow. They pretty much are. 13, I hated 13-1. I did the start of 13-2 and hated it, so I just never played it. And 3 looked like a shit show. They were just... I really didn't like any of those games. They did not... I have an issue with both 13 and 15 an awful lot. I feel like both of them don't have the spirit of Final Fantasy in them, unfortunately. Yeah, that's for another time. There are massive fans for both 13 and 15, but I would say they're more modern Final Fantasy fans, not OG fans. There's got to be Marvel, right? So possibly Pink Eye. We haven't really had any teasers for that just yet, but I wouldn't be surprised. And that's a deep well. If they ever tap into the well of Marvel, that could be very, very deep that they could go into. I'm doing good. My dad gave me the okay to buy a machete. Oh my god. That's scary, Indominus. What are you doing? Are you living in jungles? You need to machete down vines? Is this set in the real world? We literally just been talking about it, Zigazungan. I honestly do not believe this is the real world. I believe this is I've forgotten his name. I'm fairly sure it's Rex or something like that. I'm fairly sure it's Rex's world from the end of Kingdom Hearts 3's DLC. One of the alternative endings, I think, is now possibly the canonical ending, which is essentially the toy or the fake franchise that existed in the Toy Story world. And Yozora, is that his name? I think it's him, his world, which is weirdly based on our world, which again, I feel like trying to insinuate that perhaps Kingdom Hearts will get closer and closer to the real world. Which, again, I'd like to point out just how fucking crazy it is. We've got Sora almost coming through, like, he's this silly little boy that lived on an island with 3 people that lived on it, to he's now in a city of people fighting against giant monsters in our world. Like, very, very bizarre. Sora's come a long friggin' way. Also, Sora feet. That is all. So as would like to say, we get to see Sora's feet outside of his clown shoes, and it's weird, and I don't know if I like it. Sora's proportions are very strange in this, because if you don't know, Sora gets changed, his literal body changes depending on the world he's in. So he hasn't got his weird clown features, he hasn't got his big hands, he hasn't got his big feet, his shorts look normal, he looks like a boy, and he kind of looks weird because of it. He's kind of just turned into standard Square Enix boy, and she looks like a Final Fantasy character. Really, the dynamic of having her with dark socks, white top, him dark top, no socks is very strange. But yeah. I can chop branches slowly grabbing. Thomas, you must live in a jungle, boy. That sounds intense. He's just broke. He can't afford shoes at the moment. His feet are smaller than that of his shoes. Maybe. Does he just have massive, like, clown shoes that just have no, like... They're just really, like, open. Like, his shoes are out like this and his feet are, like, these tiny inside. Perhaps. I can't wait to see... Hang on. We actually do have him. I think he wears shoes in these scenes up ahead. So let's have a look at his feet here. Hang on. We're doing the feet inspection here. Let's look at Sora's feet here. Oh, he's just wearing... Wait, look. He's wearing normal people's shoes. Look, he's wearing normal people's shoes. He's wearing normal people's shoes. Oops. Those are normal people's shoes. He's not wearing his big clown shoes. Are those... I thought there was a shoe out on the right here for a sec there. He's wearing sneakers. Yeah, he's not wearing his big clown shoes, so... I guess that's to make him fit in this universe. What if Kingdom Hearts crossed over with the Fate series? Oh, no. That would never happen. We'd never ever get that, Cluniver. Disney is... Like, Disney doesn't even want Final Fantasy characters in their universe. They're done with that. Nomura doesn't even put Final Fantasy into Kingdom Hearts anymore. I feel like he has, by requirement, he has to put Nintendo stuff in. Not Nintendo. Disney stuff in, but he doesn't put in anything else. But yeah. I'm sorry to say you're not going to see very many crossovers with the Kingdom Hearts universe outside of Disney because they really, really don't want any of that. Freemakers appear. What's a freemaker? The girl is from Ku? What's Ku? Oh no, Red Rover. Red Rover knows the Kingdom Hearts lore. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, Red Rover. I have no idea. But yes, that was the next announcement. Essentially, it was pretty much this is the thing. This was the thing that got dropped, and it was big, and it was pretty freaking big. Oh, she's from. Oh, is that girl from from Union Cross? Oh, she's Sterilizer. She looks like that girl from Dream Drop Distance. She's not her, is she? Like, is that another girl? Do they all just look the same? Is there just lots of little blonde-haired girls that are magical? Oh, I see. I see, Xune. I see. Gosh, yeah. But yeah, anyway, that was really big. That was really big. I better keep moving because that's easy for me to get distracted talking about Kingdom Hearts. But holy shit. Moving on. Line. Monster Rancher announced for mobile devices. I am so saddened by this. We knew that there was a Monster Rancher thing in development, a new game, and it's a Line mobile game, and I'm a bit bummed, chat. I'm very bummed by this. Sora's in Smash? Yeah, Sora can be in other things, but things can't be in Kingdom Hearts is the problem. Yeah, I'm a little bummed by this. There was another Monster Rancher thing that existed a little while back that seemed interesting, and it was also a mobile game. But I don't know if this is ever going to come to the West, but very unlikely. But it's a little sad that this is what we got. But maybe one day we'll get a modern Monster Rancher game. One day, I can dream. A man can dream. On the other side, I'm not sure who asked for this, but apparently there's Bugsnax fans. Apparently there's a lot of Bugsnax fans, but Bugsnax not only is getting a DLC update, they're also getting a port to the Xbox, Switch, and Steam. I'm, again, not sure who
Hey all, I'm Kevin Zune, creative director at
requested this.
The Isle of Big Snacks.
Again, I was not a Big Snacks fan. We played it on stream, and I don't think that game was for me. But some people really like Big Snacks.
It'll be accessible to newcomers and returning players alike.
Zero Tendo. What's this?
Of course, a whole new
Yo,
island to
Bugsnax,
explore.
Bagsnax. Wait, chat.
Jungle-themed biome full
What
of
is
new
happening?
quests,
What
stories,
have I
and
fallen
supersized
through some
Bugsnax.
weird parallel world where people
Besides
like
content,
actually
just talk to
super
Snowy,
into
the
nut
center of
bug
Snacks
snacks?
Berg, after you completed all of his side quests.
Chum, I need your help with a matter of
There's a plushie the
grave
bunga.
importance.
There's something I'm just not getting with this game. Then I feel like if people are way into this and I don't get it,
From there, you're good to go. On this new quest, you'll be reunited with Chandler.
I still can't unsee Jim Henson puppets. They just look like Jim Henson puppets to me. Bugsnax looks pretty cool. I've yet to play it though. I wonder if that's like a majority of people because it was a PlayStation 5 exclusive, and that's why it's now getting ported. But like, it's a very small selection of people have gotten to play it, and it's like it doesn't seem like a modern game to me, and I didn't think it was very big, but it's very much a game for children. Like from what I experienced, it was very much a game for children. But I think people just like the idea of it more than the actual game, possibly. Me neither, but I love the plushies. The aesthetic is super duper not for me, but it's just interesting just to see how many people are super into this
Did I
game.
mention bug hats? As you transform grumpuses, you'll start to see rare bugs.
But yeah, it looks like they're going hard on this game. They look. Okay, so here's the thing. I have no hate against the company making this game. Kudos to them leaning into it, and obviously if they've got enough support from like people to continue this and create more. But yeah, I'm seething because Bugsnax fandom the larger than Monster Hunter.
There's never been a better time.
That's not true. You know that's not true, Tante. You know that's not true. It better not be true. But Bugsnax. But something I was genuinely very excited for was a Vanillaware announcement. If you guys don't know, I'm a massive Vanillaware fan. I've been holding off from playing 13 Sentinels because of just how big it is. I kind of don't know if I want to play on stream, but I want to pick it up. Maybe we'll play the start of it. It's a very complicated game, and I don't know if it'd be for everyone. But their older games are amazing. Muramasa might be one of my favorite games ever. I love Muramasa. I want that ported to Switch so bad. People need to play that game. It is fucking amazing. I love Muramasa so much. Grimwire Once More trailer dropped. We got a Vanillaware announcement that, so essentially the port for 13 Sentinels has come to the Switch. We already have Odin Sphere. Their original game, Grimwire, for the PlayStation 2, is being ported. I never got to play this. I've always wanted to play this, and it's actually being dropped and being like HDified and everything. I'm very excited. I don't know what's happening. We're in this weird realm now where cult classics, nostalgia cult classics are like coming back. All the things I love end up being popular in some way or another, and I get to enjoy them again. And I'm very excited. So if you don't know, Vanillaware are known for their gorgeous 2D artworks. Their incorporation of 2D into like motion is fucking incredible. It's so good. And the new up-res of their art looks amazing. Finally convinced my parents to buy XL shark plushies. Oh no. Thomas, no. Daimono's a feline, not a basil goose. I could be both. I can be both. Look how good this looks. Look how good. This looks all amazing up-resed. To be honest, chat, I don't even know if this ever got localized. Like, because the first one I knew about was Odin Sphere. And then I was like, I knew that they made other games. But this looks really, really pretty. The thing is, I've heard that this game is a bit rough. Like, Vanillaware's, like, they like to play around with their systems and stuff. I've heard this particular game has weird systems to play, and it's a bit of a funny game, but it's genuinely very pretty. And knowing their game design philosophy, I can sense that this has already been very fun. But yeah, I feel like I've seen games by this team before. Yeah, so people probably know them as their main game. I would say people know them for is Dragon's Crown because of all the booba art. But Muramasa is probably their crowning glory, in my opinion. 13 Sentinels, people say that's like a 10 out of 10 game. If you want that type of game, it is exactly what that type of game should be. People really, really love that game. And yeah. What's this, Tante? What have you dropped? Bug Snack Sales? What is this? Oh, is this on PlayStation? Oh. It took me a moment to be like, why am I looking at a Steam page with Bug Snacks? And then I was like, I don't know how you got me with that, Tante. I had to internalize what was happening for a moment. Thank you. It's the Bug Snacks world. I was going to ask, they made Dragon's Crown. Yeah, Dragon's Crown's like a rough game. I don't know. I don't like Dragon's Crown because I'm not a huge beat 'em up fan. And I feel like the loop is a bit too short because if you've ever played Dragon's Crown, it's relatively short. And it feels okay. It doesn't feel the best. It has a bit of a clunk to it, in my opinion. But the art's still gorgeous. Like, if you have issues with how their art style there was for Dragon Crown, fine, whatever. But you can't deny that their art team is just killer. They're so good at what they do. Daimono watches Yu-Gi-Oh! The History of the Mega Man. We might. We may watch that at some point. All right, anime time. So I'm only going to talk about 2 anime things here, just briefly. So, One Piece Film Red trailer reveals heroine's identity. If you didn't know, we already had a little bit of tease around this stuff. If you're essentially a fan of One Piece, you kind of knew what was happening here. The film is called Red. It's literally about Shanks, and this main girl is in it. And here's the trailer. This is non-canon as far as we know. A lot of the stuff is non-canon, but we have a moment where Shanks has a daughter. Apparently, Shanks is officially a deadbeat dad. It is written by Oda, I think. So I don't know. It shares people theorizing for a non-canon movie. I don't know if it's canon yet. We'll have to find out, Medic. Because Gold isn't canon. The other two movies were. Strong World is canon. So is Zed. But I don't know if this one will be. I don't think Gold is canon. I'm fairly sure it's not. It'd be weird if it was. But yes, so we've got the villain has been presented. She is a diva, so idols again. I'm assuming she's not the big bad because Luffy, very likely, Luffy is not going to punch this girl. Look at this crying girl. Can you see Luffy punching this girl in the face with giant fist? The fact that they have little moments like this, I'm 99% sure he's going to turn her and she's being manipulated or something like that. But anyway, it looks really pretty. If you've never watched the latest One Piece movies, they are all good. They are all good. Since the time skip, Strong World, easily their best film. If you've not watched Strong World, very, very good. Baron Amatsu, is probably the best of the older movies, I would say. But yeah, her dad went to get milk. Yeah, Shanks just took off to the ocean to get milk and never came back. Luffy doesn't discriminate. I don't think I've ever seen Luffy punch a woman in the face. Not gonna lie. I don't think she's ever done that. You're not a fan of it? Oh, that's okay, Dominus. I love One Piece to death. It's so good. I struggle with beat 'em ups because they especially have RPG mechanics. My problem is the back and forward, Tante. I don't like the weird pseudo 3D movement of those games because it's hard to gauge depth perception sometimes. And moves just whiff and stuff like that. I don't really like it. Barbosa? But everyone is a fan of Uda, apparently. We've even got our boy Bartholomew, so I'm excited because Bartholomew's in the film. Like, he's one of the best One Piece characters ever. But yeah, it looks like a One Piece movie. But again, I'm 99% sure we're not going to see Luffy hit. He's very angry, so this must be towards the final of the fight. He's punching someone while running on water. I have no idea what's going on, but it's I'm looking forward to this movie. I will say that. It generally looks really, really, really well animated, so well drawn. Speaking of weird anime movies, Dragon Ball Super. This movie actually doesn't look too bad, and it's not drawn, strangely enough. This actually doesn't have a trailer. Well, there is a trailer. I'll go get the trailer. We'll go get the trailer, chat. So the movie is to release in June in Japan, and this movie is going to be very focused, as you can see, on Gohan and Piccolo. Again, I've talked mad shit about Dragon Ball Super, but I'm not sure I'm looking forward to this. But the latest trailer that dropped actually does look all right. Like, I actually think this doesn't look too bad. Hang on, we're going to find the trailer. This is the latest trailer that just dropped. Is it this one? Here. So it's not hand-drawn. They've lent into the 3D with hand-drawn on top. So there's a bit of a combination going on, and it doesn't look too bad. But this actually looks fun. The original trailers didn't make it look fantastic, but this has a bit of Dragon Ball energy in it. If you liked old Dragon Ball like I did, this might actually be a good movie. It's Red Ribbon with goofy people. So we'll see. But I know a lot of people are big fans of Super Saiyan. Like, when Gohan first transformed, that's a big nostalgia hit for a lot of people. I'm not sure I care too much because I feel like adult Gohan is kind of a shitty character. But I would say that this looks like a fun film. This might be worth checking out. So we'll see how it reviews. It'll be coming out in June. So unless you're getting it for subbed somehow and watching it online, it's going to take a little bit to come to the West, I imagine, but it's probably going to sell very, very well. Just because of the fact that it's one, Dragon Ball, two, it's got to focus on Gohan actually looking like the Gohan that people actually really like. You're going to see it with your homies? I wonder how long it will take, Medic. I really do wonder. I'm not sure with American movement of movies how long it takes these days. But one thing you'll notice, there is a few characters you can see here. So you can actually see Teenage Goten and Trunks are a thing doing the fusion. So we're probably going to see a fusion there. I don't know who this is. We've got Pan. So we've got the daughter of Gohan and Videl. You'll notice Videl is not in any of the promo art. And yet we've got 18 and Bulma. But yeah, it looks just fun. But that weird quite not 3D animation gives me a headache. Yeah, I get that. That's the thing. I kind of wish it wasn't 3D, but it actually doesn't look too bad. This genuinely actually looks all right. I'm kind of surprised because, like I said, it's 3D with 2D over the top. So it is actually still a 2D film. But the line work they've done on the 3D actually really, I think, expresses the Dragon Ball art style quite well. I think there's a lot of effort here, and I'm not going to forego it for being 3D just yet because it looks like there's some good shit in here. Like, there's definitely still 2D elements throughout this. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. Also, a red ribbon base. I am excited for a red ribbon base again. Very, very cool. I'm way into this. This feels like something that Dragon Ball kind of just lost the ability to have, but the fact that we're having it now makes me excited. Probably Marin Krillin and then 18's daughter. Marin doesn't have black hair, does she? I thought Marin had blonde hair. It might be Marin. I don't know. If she's a little aged up. Oh, it's Krillin. Oh, thank you, Indominus. You're right. That's who it is. Krillin has black hair now, and he's doing the Destructo disc pose, and he's a cop. I forgot about that. That's just Krillin. I was like trying to figure out who the child was. It's just the man that is a child. But yes, Dragon Ball Super to release in Japan soon. And now, common controversies. So, there's two controversies we want to talk about this week. If you guys did not see some weird shit happening with that lawsuit with Activision Blizzard, as the last thing we left off with it was essentially the slap on the wrist that ended up happening for Activision Blizzard. The amount of money that they were fined by the state was pitiful. It was such a small amount. I think it was kind of gross. And now it's seeming like there might be more to that story than we thought. California lawyer alleges Governor Newscom interfered with Blizzard Activision suit. Now, I don't know if that means necessarily with how much they're prosecuted for, but there is some weird stuff in terms of some of how the proceedings started to go towards the end and certain things getting dropped. And now I'm really like, I don't know. This is one of those controversies we won't ever know, but now people are sort of up in arms. They're talking about this. Like, this might spiral a bit more into something else, but I think the deed is done. I don't think they're actually going to be able to reopen the case in the same way, considering it was essentially signed off on. But yeah, supposedly there was like interference between this one. Always makes me chuckle. The biggest controversy is will Daimono will not play Fossil Fighters Champions. You just live in that limbo, Indominus, I'm afraid, unfortunately. But yes, it's one of those things where we will probably not really ever know the truth about this. We will probably just see the fallout of this, but to what degree, we don't know. But I definitely feel for the people that feel like they were sort of shorthand with this particular case, because holy shit, this was set to be a very big class action lawsuit. and it's kind of just turned into something else now, and it's a bit worrying. I feel like when you see these sorts of things sort of occur, but yeah. Anyway, that's Activision Blizzard currently, so it's ongoing. We're still ongoing with that. As for the other controversy, Tencent is cutting off Chinese gamers' access to foreign games. Now, if you guys don't know, I've already had a lot to say about China and the gaming industry, and it's kind of this weird sort of dynamic between the two entities. China is in the video game industry, or China and the West. Unfortunately, it feels like it doesn't. There's not a good sort of. There's no good blood there. Just the approach to both of how they handle it is just bad. But holy crap. The fact that Tencent, which I would like to remind people they are doing a very large amount of purchasing in the West, but are a Chinese-owned company, and now restricting the access to Chinese gamers, despite them owning a lot of these IPs, and I would say from a large pressure of the Chinese government. And I was saying this limbo until one of the doors opened. They really said League of Legends is allowed? Is that true? Is that actually something they've said here? I haven't actually read on that particular note. No? Okay. I was going to say I hadn't heard them having any sort of restriction. Then again, they don't own any licenses around it. Cringe sent. It's rough. I don't know when. I worry that a monopoly law might have to come in place against Tencent. They're seemingly able to just do what they want, considering they have such a large purchase rights in a lot of various different companies now, big and small. But I don't know when or how or whether or not that will happen. But it's a little worrying, especially with them incorporating these sorts of ideals. So we'll see. I'm assuming this is going to be a lot of pressure from the Chinese industry, Chinese government, and I feel for people who are over there. I really do. I feel like it's very harsh to have the idea that your freedoms of rights over in China being so constrained due to a lot of this stuff. It's very rough. Hey, Pixie, welcome on in. Plan on talking about the Tetris stuff? Tetris stuff? I have no idea what you're talking about, Tante. If you have an article, feel free to drop it, because I'm not sure what you're talking about. I think I remember a friend talking about something about Tetris, but I don't know if I really internalized it. But yeah. Big things. Big business. And the continuation of that is China ends their 9-month freeze on game approvals. So, we were just talking about how they were limiting games. China has actually had a freeze in their country on games being released or getting published, getting approvals for rights and stuff like that for months and months and months and months now. I think it's been like a year and a half or so. And holy shit. Like, they're unfreezing it at the same time that they're restricting Tencent, which means that we're probably going to see a lot more games released in China again, finally. But they're now implementing stricter rules, and they're going to have a lot more control over what gets created and what comes out over there. So it's really, really rough over there. Like, I can't stress just how hard it must be to be a creative over there. So yeah, just very, very rough news. This one, China really has said, how does copium feel now, Westerners? God. Video game Tetris is set to enter the metaverse. Wait, metaverse as into... I hate that the Facebook metaverse now exists, so I have to read this and pause. Is this to do with Facebook, or is this to do with their own metaverse? Tetris has filed a trademark application signaling its plan to enter the metaverse and embrace NFTs. Which metaverse are you talking about? Tetris and metaverse? Wait. So they're trying to do NFTs. I can get that. But who? Is it actually... So the Tetris IP. So it is actually the Tetris IP owners have signed off for NFTs. Metaverse trademark attorney has tweeted this news. This is very weird. Time to boycott Tetris. I mean, Tetris is kind of everywhere anyway. Like the people who originally got money from Tetris as an IP, fairly sure they've moved on and they're very well situated now. But it's just a big old disappointment. Although most of the community don't seem that surprised. Yeah, I'm not really that surprised. They've sold themselves off on lots of different things. But I mean, I wouldn't buy an NFT from them. I don't really buy Tetris games. I don't care too much about Tetris. There's a lot of Tetris alternatives that exist out there now. I'm still not 100% sure on the NFT thing, by the way. Not the NFT thing, the metaverse. Are they talking about the metaverse as in... Okay, so they are talking about a metaverse. So they're talking about making a metaverse. Okay, all right. So that's what I wanted to make sure. Yo, Elon Musk Wilden. I mean, I did just see that news as well, Medic. I haven't talked about that either, but it's sort of outside the space of games, so I don't generally talk about it. I started playing Day of Dragons recently. I have no idea what that is, Indominus. I doubt Tetris Connect team would be down for this either. Just sucks. Yeah. I don't think it's Facebook. I think it's not the metaverse, it's a metaverse. And I think that's where people might be getting confused when I'm seeing a lot of articles, because that's why I don't really like Facebook branding the metaverse, because metaverse is a thing. So like example is like there's various different if I click on this, like you can see one of the big ones we talked about, which was Epic and Lego. Like they're creating a metaverse. Like they are just so the metaverse is a concept. It's not necessarily a branding thing. It is in a weird way, but essentially it's what it is them having a multifaceted IP that can they'll have a platform, basically so they interact with it and stuff like that, similar to how social media and stuff does. It's more of an accessible platform, so you can have this weird back and forth interaction with in more real time. That, from my understanding, is how the metaverses are meant to be understood as. But because of the fact that Facebook changed their name to that, really was just like was a bizarre move by them, and I think has now opened up a can of worms on confusion for everyone. And I'm kind of surprised that they were allowed to get away with that for licensing, but you know, whatever. But yeah, Elon Musk Wilden. So yeah, if you didn't see that as well, the news has just dropped. Supposedly Elon Musk is supposedly wanting to purchase Twitter. I saw that this morning. I haven't looked into it, so I don't know if that's true or anything like that. But yeah, MasterCard. What the fuck, man? I'm glad I don't read this stuff. This is just cursed. It feels like I'm reading a cursed section of the internet right now. But you know, whatever. But that's kind of sad to hear. I mean, we're not surprised, but like a lot of older games companies that still want to stay relevant just find ways to try and bleed money out where they can. So, I mean, I've seen some funny NFT articles of failures around NFTs of recent, so I won't go into that, but yeah. But speaking about the real industry doing real shit that actually is tangible and understandable, Nintendo is actually building a second development center in Kyoto. This is big. I feel like I didn't see enough people talk about this. This is a really fucking big deal. So Nintendo have not had another office open in like forever. Like I think it's been like over 20 years or something like that. And this means that they've got a sizable enough increase in staff, and they're probably hiring more staff to the point that they're going to be working on more projects, so they're expanding. Nintendo is expanding, which I don't think is really something we see really very often in the industry. So this is a pretty big deal, I think. Very excited to see. And it was quite a lot of money they put behind it. So I would say that the Switch's profits really led to this. So this is whenever you have a moment of like, your impact on the industry, this is kind of it. This is where you can see sort of tangible, like the Switch doing as well as it did has probably allowed this event to happen. And hell yeah, I'm always happy for new Nintendo stuff. Like, I feel like they're one of the companies that still are a bit old hat, a bit problematic in some ways, but it is one of those things where if you are genuinely interested to see what Nintendo can do in the industry, and I think they produce things that people often are beloved of. Hopefully they try new things. The GameCube era was experimenting. Yeah, I hope so too, Pixie. I think this generation feels like familiar to me to the SNES era, less so the Wii era. The Wii era was very popular and had lots of stuff, but the end of it became a bit of a cursed spree. But there is a lot of, I don't want to say shovelware, but there is a shit ton of indies that are on the Switch now, to the point that it might cause a bit of a little game bubble to pop. But Nintendo won't feel the repercussions from that. They are just selling stuff on that platform, so they will get profits from it. So, and they will always just sell better and better. They just are a group in the industry that I don't think will ever go away. I think that's good. But doesn't mean they shouldn't be reined in every now and then. But we're seeing this is just good. I'm just I'm very excited to see this. So I was a little surprised I didn't see too many people talking about this. But I think this is one of those intangible things where we won't know what this actually means until we start hearing more projects being announced. So this is probably one of the reasons why Nintendo have been a little quiet on the business front for a little while, because they've been focusing maybe on organizing these deals and stuff. So yeah, exciting. It's a pretty big building too, by the way. Probably should have ended with that one because this is a weird one to end on. CD Projekt Red's 2021 sales generated 270 million revenue. Wow. So, remember last year, after Cyberpunk came out, there was a 63% drop in physical earnings. Cyberpunk sold very, very little in relative nature to what they thought it was going to sell. But they still earned a lot of money. And the amount of copies that they've been selling for Cyberpunk has actually been quite consistent, strangely enough. And that's probably the weirdest part about this story, is that between Witcher and Cyberpunk, they've still been selling quite well. And it's kind of bizarre because now we've actually got it's a bit of an upswing. So perhaps CD Projekt Red isn't as doomed as what we believed it to be. But I guess we'll see, especially if they're changing out a lot of their projects and changing how plans for future projects are. We're going to probably see a lot of this money being dumped into the new engine stuff. So they're probably working with the new Unreal Engine. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where this goes, I feel like. I don't know, I don't really want to see Project Red die from all their sort of stupid choices. Perhaps a structure of the higher management would be nice. Remove crunch if they somehow can convince their organization to not have crunch issues. Perhaps that company can be saved, but who knows? Maybe it's just one of those things of perhaps it's proven that they can get away with anything and they'll be worse, but fingers crossed that's not the case. Okay, I am exhausted. Holy shit, I actually got through a lot more of a discussion there than I was expecting today. So, that was the news for today, for this week. Kingdom Hearts, easily the biggest one. Oh my god, Thomas. Kingdom Hearts, easily the biggest of the news for this week. But there was lots of fun things to talk about, and I think we'll take a quick break now. And again, thank you, Tate, for providing the article as well. That's what I want to say is, with this news set, I cover as much as I can, but if there's things that you guys are genuinely interested in that you think that I might know something about or want to know about, definitely feel free to drop it in chat and I'll have a read. Because can't capture everything. There's a lot of articles, and sometimes I skim through and miss some important shit. But yeah, there's a lot happening in the industry as always, and even on lull days, we will still have those moments of a lot of stuff happening, and you can dive into it as much as you would want. And that's kind of the best thing about the industry, where it's like you see the game release comes out, and you play it, and you're like, hell, that was fun. But the extent of knowing behind it, like the business, the individuals, the impact, the controversies, the future of that franchise, that's the space where reading the news of like this can really give an insight as to some truths that you may not have had from just playing the game alone. And I think it's so much more interesting to take this perspective of the games industry like this. It's just very fun for me. But I hope you guys enjoy it too. I'm going to take a quick break. Again, we do want to change this format. I feel like I need to come up with a new sort of interactive sort of format for you guys with this, other than it being me as a podcast screaming at you guys. But we'll figure it out. We'll have to discuss it maybe. And I'll take a quick break. I'll drink this water, and we'll be back for Yu-Gi-Oh! And we can discuss the Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament as well if you guys like. And I can bitch and moan about the synchro event. I've been holding on to this one. All right. Be back shortly, chat. Sit tight.